Because
Now they say we play you hating because we hate.
I'm telling you, folks be hating on King James. Y'all got to give him his props now, though. Got to give him his props. He's got 4 championships, 3 with different franchises. He's got some guys who he's got rings for guys that may not even be in the league if it wasn't for LeBron James. So congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers. Congratulations to Anthony Davis and Talen Horton Tucker, Chicago natives. And congratulations to the Lakers organization. There are no moral victories in sports, but I tell you what, the Miami Heat definitely, they had my respect before, but the warrior-like way that they played, Jimmy Butler really, I mean, he had nothing left in Game 6. He put everything out there he had in Game 5 to get them advanced to Game 6, but he just didn't have anything left in the tank. But the Miami Heat had a heck of a run, a heck of a postseason. They've got some tremendous building blocks, and with the rumor of Giannis Antetokounmpo possibly choosing South Beach after next season, which could be his final season with the Milwaukee Bucks, the future looks awfully bright for the Miami Heat. But I'm here to give love to LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm happy for Anthony Davis that he got a ring, but he was not even close to being the MVP like some were saying. LeBron James, ladies and gentlemen, I've had a good time doing this on my Bartles Breakdown show. I had 2 days in between the NBA Finals where we did nothing but who is the GOAT talk. And LeBron is the most hated on athlete I've ever seen. By far the most hated on basketball player. Bill Russell got death threats just because he was in racist Boston. That's just what it was back then. And some say it's not much different now. But there has been no basketball player, NBA player, to my mind, maybe Craig Hodges and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf for taking the stances they did. Maybe them. But in terms of somebody that is as decorated, someone that has so many NBA records, both regular season and playoffs, for someone that really hasn't had a misstep off the court. Off the court, he's the most impactful athlete outside of Muhammad Ali I've ever seen. I can go on and on. Yeah, can I nitpick about his game? Of course I can. Game 5, a lot of people were critical in that they felt like he should have taken that shot and not given up that pass. That's not who LeBron James is. LeBron James is more Magic Johnson than Michael Jordan. I know that. But it's so much fun to have the discussion between Jordan and LeBron James because I live in Chicago and people here have a nostalgia around that topic that incites some passion that you don't normally see. So that's why I keep throwing it out there. But I just wanted to congratulate the Los Angeles Lakers and say that the way that they handled Miami in Game 6, that's the way champions close out a series. There was no doubt left in the minds of anybody after the first half. I mean, the Lakers were up 20-something in the first half. They had a 30-point lead at one point. And that generally doesn't happen in an NBA Finals. They're much more competitive than that. And the games leading up to last night were much more competitive. But Miami just ran out of gas. Jimmy Butler had to do everything for that franchise. He was running the point. He was scoring. He was guarding LeBron. Half the time, he'd have to rebound. He had to set up his teammates. He had to do so much that there was just nothing left in the tank. And so the Lakers did what great teams do. They took advantage, and they kept their foot on the gas. They did not let up. And what a wonderful playoff experience for the NBA. They led all sports, in my opinion, in terms of being decisive, having a game plan, and also being sensitive to the social environment around the country that's going on currently. I think they've managed, they've juggled, they've done a masterful job of getting that completed because no sports franchise, no sports league wants to have an interruption in their history. The NBA has been going on for 70 years. There's not been an interruption in the league. And Adam Silver and the people at the NBA office, they did a fantastic job of ensuring that this season would be completed and that they would be able to crown a champion during COVID-19 pandemic. So big ups to Adam Silver, big ups to the NBA. Special congratulations to the Los Angeles Lakers. Congratulations to the Miami Heat for making it to the NBA Finals and winning an Eastern Conference Championship. And to the NBA play-in games in the playoffs. They were outstanding. Even though we had Scottie Pippen, who, as a player, he was one of my favorite players. But off the court, he's not the brightest person to think about in terms of that. That still burns me up, some of the things he said. Daniel Booth, Tony Basilio, Carlton Renarine, John Madore, Cam Ballard. What's good, y'all? Carol Paul Paquette. How you doing, Carol? But I just think it's important that we give praise where praise is due. Stop hating on LeBron, y'all. Stop it. You can nitpick his games. Jordan passed to Paxson and Kerr to win championships. So what are y'all talking about? I don't understand the double standard that LeBron James is under. Some people say he cries. Shit, Jordan cried more than anybody. Jordan admitting crying to the officials. If you all go back and look, because that wasn't really a thing. You would get guys that would run along the side of officials and try to say something, but you couldn't be demonstrative. You couldn't show officials up because they tech you or kick you out of the game. But now players have a lot more leeway, a lot more communication with the officials, and I agree with that style. I think when you're at the top level of the game, players, officials, coaches, they need to be able to communicate. I think that the way that they're allowed to communicate today compared to the way that we were allowed to communicate during our era, I think, I think it's improved. So stop calling LeBron James a crier and cries on every call because Jordan implemented that. He started that. All right. What else can you say? He doesn't shoot the three well. Well, if you go back and check LeBron James's three-point shooting percentage compared to Kobe and Michael Jordan, come talk to me when you check that out. Okay, can you talk about his free throws? Yeah, in the end of the game, LeBron doesn't seem as confident as certain players that are considered upper echelon in the NBA. He doesn't seem as comfortable wanting to get fouled like down the stretch because he's had some situations where he's come up empty. Okay, I get it. So he isn't as forceful at the end of games, and maybe he's not as good on the free throw line. All right, I'll give you that. But what else? Because everything else is crap. Anything else that you can say and nitpick about LeBron James is crap. He led the league in assists in his 17th season, ladies and gentlemen. He's been to the playoffs 14 of 15 seasons. His first two seasons, they didn't make the playoffs. But ever since then, he's made the playoffs. And oh, by the way, that one season, he didn't make the playoffs. He was injured. So let's stop all this damn double standard, this nitpicking, and trying to knock LeBron James and trying to dull his shine. It ain't possible. It's not possible. Stop it. What else can we say about his game? He's not a great leader. False. He doesn't stand up for his people. False. He's not willing to make a stand. He just, whenever he's interviewed, he just pushes play and he gives the same answer every time. False. What else? What else y'all got? Because I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I still think Michael Jordan has a slight edge on LeBron James in terms of GOAT conversation. But let LeBron win 2 more titles. Then we got to have that conversation, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be the thorn in people's side, especially in Chicago, because folks got Michael Jordan colored glasses on up here. They don't want to hear anything that Jordan isn't the top player. But every era, from George Mikan to Bob Cousy and Bill Russell, to Wilt Chamberlain, to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Oscar Robertson, to Elgin Baylor and Jerry West, to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to Magic Johnson, to Larry Bird, to Michael Jordan. Now after Michael Jordan, we can't seem to figure out. We can't seem to find anybody to compare who was the last GOAT, which obviously is Jordan. And oh, by the way, two things. Jordan was a marketing maverick, right? I think Nike and the powers that be did a fantastic job of marketing Michael Jordan. And I believe that's why he's so ingrained in guys' era, in my era of ex-players and coaches and things like that, because the marketing was so strong around Jordan. We hadn't seen anything like that. If I could be like Mike, I mean, think about that. You know how old that commercial is? And I can pull that up just like that. So that's one. Two, if you guys really go back and look at the guys that Jordan went up against in his prime, they don't compare to the players that LeBron is facing in his prime. They don't. Some of those guys wouldn't play in the NBA today. Not to say they aren't good. Not to say they weren't good in their era. They were. But in today's game, a pace and space game, a game that's way more athletic, a game where 7-footers can create their own space off the bounce. That wasn't around Jordan's time. That you didn't see that. You did not see that. So consider those two things. Big ups to LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers for a fantastic playoff finish, winning the NBA Finals in a very challenging situation in the bubble. These guys sacrificing their families. They sacrificed a lot. And they came up with the ultimate prize. So big ups to the Los Angeles Lakers. All you haters, stop hating. Stop it. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. I'm going to do the same thing on Bartle's Breakdown, a little bit more in depth. We got a big tribe. Folks going to have stuff to say. So if you want to get in on the conversation, join me at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to come back on Instagram, but I'll also be on Facebook on Bartle's Breakdown.